Hello guys, Nigel here. Wavy hands, yes, I know some people don't like it. Back with you with the final part of the Land Rover build. Actually it's not part 12 of the Land Rover build because I finished it. I'm going to show you the finished model before it's weathered or anything, but see what you think. Before we do that, I'm going to show you some photo etch. Now, Peter Harvey from PH Designs got in touch with me after I did my last video, and he offered to send me some of his photo etch for Land Rovers, which is, she sent me, and it's very, very nice indeed. And I'm going to show you now and tell you how you can get some. So if you're building one of these Land Rovers, you might want to get some of this. So as we know with the kit, we get with the Wimmick kit, we get the photo etch set here, and you can see across the top we've got our photo etch grill there. So you've got the outer and the inner part. It's nice, it's photo etch, it's fairly thick, and it's a little bit chunky. So what Peter's done, he's come along and he's made this, which is basically the alternate set. So this is his set, and this is called PH35 LRG, obviously Land Rover grill. And you can see it's basically the same. It's a two-part grill as the real thing was, but it's actually a lot finer. If we put it next to the Hobby Boss parts, we can see that the actual grill, the mesh on the grill is much finer, and you can see that this is a lot less chunky as well. The actual frame is a lot less chunky. So you know, you could keep this for your spares box, use this, whatever. I think it looks lovely. When I build my Wimmick, I'll definitely be using this. Luckily he sent me two of these because I've also got the US Rangers Land Rover as well. I'll probably build that one day, but I'm yet waiting for someone to tell me what I need to do to accurize that Wimmick. So there we go. So that's that. That's PH35 LRG, and that's available for £4.25 on the channel, and it's a website. It's called PH Designs. It does a lot of railway stuff, a lot of very unusual bits and pieces for modelling from all different angles. The next one I've got to show you is the Land Rover tread plate. Now this is very nice additional extra. If you look at your references, you will find videos or pictures of these tread plates being used on Army Land Rover. So we've got the bonnet, we've got the front wings, and we've got the floor plates there for the interior. So that's very nice. You know, it's in like a 5-bar tread plate, and you can see it's very nicely done, very nice to scale. You know, not too deep, as a lot of plastic molded parts are. And the one thing I would question is the wings. Obviously the Army did it different, but as you know, if you buy, oh, you may not know, but if you've got a Defender or something, you buy aluminium wing tops for it, they generally come as one piece, and this centre here is cut out for the grill. So obviously the Army do it different. Peter did show me some images of Land Rovers with these fitted, so but that's going to be a nice addition to your Army Land Rovers if you're going to use the Wimmick kit as a base to make a different kind of Wimmick or a Wolf or something. You can get resin wheels for them and all sorts, and make all sorts of conversions. So that one's called PH35 LRTP, and that one costs £8, again from PH Designs. And then what he's done here, this is another one he's done which is generic, and this is basically just a sheet. Let me have a quick measure here. This is what is it? It's 50 by 50, isn't it? Yeah, 50 by 50 millimeters, 5-bar tread plate again, and it's just basically a tread plate sheet that you can actually use as they would in real life. You know, cut it up to certain sizes you want, fold it, whatever. Ideal for making those rear corner fenders if you want to, or any bits of door bottoms or sills or whatever. You know, you see a lot of old Land Rovers now with checker plate all over them, you know, where they're covering up corrosion and stuff. So you could be doing that, and that sheet is basically £5.99, and that one's called PH35 MTP. So yeah, very nice sheet there. So that's our aftermarket looked at. Now let's go and have a look at the model. So I'll get this this turntable thing set up, and we'll get the model in place for you to have a look at. This is basically the short wheelbase conversion from the Hobby Boss 110 hardtop kit number 82448. I'm thinking I could probably enter this in a competition as out of the box, because I've added nothing other than a couple of little bits of plastic card here and there, literally for bulking things up or something. But yeah, as you see it, the wheels, the tyres, the exhaust, everything is as it comes out of the box, but with a few little modifications. So where is the model? It's going to be on this turntable right now. There we go. There she is, 1/35 scale, short wheelbase Army Land Rover 90 for a 110 long wheelbase kit. Good things about the kit: beautifully moulded, very, very crisp, very clean, quite well engineered, goes together lovely. You know, really, really nice kit for a beginner, I think, to build out of the box. It has its errors. Apparently the Wimic is full of errors. I can tell you now something you'll see straight away on here. The Land Rover, the side windows here, they should be sliding. There'll be sliding windows in an Army Land Rover. So, but there's no. They've got the sliding mechanism on the inside, but there's no step. There should be a step where the actual panels overlap each other. If you look at a real Land Rover, you'll see what I mean. Whether later Land Rovers had wind-up windows, I don't know, but they've certainly, in this one, they've got the mechanism for the sliding windows, which is basically a lump on the inside about halfway along the door. So what you can see there is basically XF67 NATO green all over. The interior, the seats, steering wheel, dash and everything is all done X18 semi-gloss black, and I've done a few bits in XF85 rubber black. As I say, this is part 12. I've covered this build in 11 parts all the way up to here, the finish. In the last part we actually cut the hard top down. We cut it around about here, and as you can see, that's come out really well, and it's seamless. All I've done is, after I let the glue dry for at least 48 hours, 72 hours, if you can go a week it's better, because solvent cements always sink back and the line will reappear. After that I put some Mr. Surfacer on there, left that for another couple of days, and then, you know, another quick layer of Mr. Surfacer over the top after it's rubbed down, and there we go, coat of matte paint and everything's good. You'll probably notice it's got finger marks all over it where I've been holding it and handling it. I think it kind of adds to the realism, because that's how they are in real life, where you get guys leaning over the wings and stuff to get into the engine bay. They're oily, you know, they're slightly oily overalls and stuff will mark the paint, and believe me, this matte green paint picks up oil like nobody's business. To add some realism, I should probably add some dirt and dust. I should probably add some diesel stains from around the filler cap. You know, there's lots of bits and pieces I could do, but I'm going to call this, for now, I'm going to call this finished. I've literally just finished it. I've just glued the mirrors on. Now, bad things about the kit, for me, quite disappointing. The front end's all wrong. There's something wrong with this front end. I've got a feeling the wings are too high perhaps, and the bonnet's too flat. I'm not sure. There's something definitely wrong. The spare wheel is there on the bonnet totally as a wind up, just to get you guys going. Army Land Rovers I don't think carried a spare wheel on the bonnet, so that's going there. That is supposed to be mounted here on the side, but I don't like the look of it. And you'll see on the standard wheels you've got the same. You've got a great load of wheel rim sticking out, and you can see it on here. The wheel rim sticks out a mile. It's much wider than the tyre, so I'm not going to put that on. I don't like the look of it. The hardtop is still removable, as is the bonnet, so we can remove the bonnet, or the hood if you're in America, and we can see the engine detail inside there. So that's all there with the, you know, we've got the header tank and the brake master cylinder. We've got the windscreen washer bottle over there. There's a decal under there to say mind your hands on the fan. Engine painted in that typical sort of duck egg blue colour that Army engines are always painted in. Let's get this bonnet back on. There we go. Go on. That drops on every time, because as soon as you put the camera on, here we go. So there we go, bonnet's back on. I did some work around here and the side here where it holds the axe head, and I actually cut the axe head out and just left the tool holder in place. I don't know if I can zoom in and show you that. So you can see that there, where I cut that away. I did add the little lumps on the bonnet, because they're basically clamps for carrying tools and stuff, but I haven't put any of the tools on here. As you can see, you've got the mounts on the tops of the wings there for the radios. I've left them without radios in place, and hence there's no box or antennas on the side here. And if you remember, when we made the cuts on our bodywork, around about here. We cut it in places where we leave these clamps and bolts and stuff in place for an extra bit of realism, and also you've got the hooks on the side that would hold the canvas down if it had a canvas top. Rear cross member, a lot of people would probably think it should be black. A lot of Army Land Rovers I've seen it's painted green, so I've left it green on this one. The glazing fits like a dream. I fitted the glazing with crystal clear, Microsol crystal clear, or micro crystal clear should I say. The tyres are painted with MRP tyre black, and the paint is glued to this vinyl like a dream. You can see it on this spare here. It doesn't scratch off, it doesn't flake off, peel off or anything. So worth remembering if you do want to sort of add a bit of realism, because tyres are always moulded black. They're not black, they're a very dark grey. That MRP, I've got the paint here. What number is it? It's MRP 173 tyre rubber black it's called, and I think that looks really realistic, especially when you look at that spare wheel. You know, it's a realistic colour, and I haven't painted the tread. I've left the tread as is, but then just given the sidewalls a fogging, and as I say, it stayed on there beautifully. So worth remembering that one. And I got that from Premium Hobbies, which you can see the sticker in the background. So the lights, basically be careful with your light arrangements. They, you know, they're not the same as a road Land Rover. What I've done here, I've painted the backs of the clear lenses silver first, and then I've painted the fronts in the red or the amber, or just left them clear, as you can see in that fog lamp, or reversing lamp should I say. Then glued them on. Then what I've done is gone over with some liquid mask, like Maskol or a Vallejo masking fluid. I should have had this ready to show you. You've got this one here. Where is it? This one here, which is okay as long as you don't use any clear coats on your clear parts. It attacks it. So basically I've used that and then painted around there in green again, and then taken the mask off. I've gone around with a toothpick and just scratched the paint off to leave a sort of, you could probably just see it there, we've got a green surround on the actual light units. And I've done exactly the same on the front. Now the front of the North American spec type lenses with the flat lenses, and the rear two red lenses you can see on the outer sides there, they're the UK type, you know, with the bulbs, the bulbous sort of shape to them. Headlights, did all that in the last part. A lot to look at there if you want to go back. Again, I did the same on there, masked them up, and then painted the rims, and then went round with a clear a toothpick, sorry, to make them clear again. As I say, windscreen fitted like a dream. That went in, again fitted with crystal clear. So yeah, so there we go, guys. If you want to see underneath, the bonnet will fall off as soon as I lift it up. There we go, you can see underneath there. I've done no weathering, no dirty or anything. I'm kind of tempted to leave it like it is, at least for now, and then maybe add some stuff later too, I don't know. You can see this white blotch down here. That is where I've actually super glued the bottom of the door. The door fit is awful. Nothing to do with the conversion, but the actual fit of all three doors within the hardtop is very poor. Very, very difficult to get a nice fit. And it's almost like the top of the door is longer than the bottom, if you like, and it was really, really difficult to get them to fit, so I've had to sort of favour it around. And luckily, because it's a Land Rover, you can get away with the excuse of saying the panel fit isn't perfect anyway. You can see down here the fit of the door against the bulkhead isn't the best. That bulkhead could actually go back a bit, and as you can see, it's all still adjustable. So, you know, it's a case of just messing around with it and getting it all right. But I'm happy with the way that's come out, and I think I'm going to leave it at that for now. So we're going to call this one done. So for all those out there that say never finish a model, this is another one to add to the list of finished models, which there have been many of. So there we go. Hope you've enjoyed this. I enjoyed it. Got a little bit tired of it towards the end because I could start to see shape issues, and there's nothing worse than having a model you look at and it just doesn't look right. I mean, to me, that front end, it just doesn't. If I lift it up, I don't know if you'll see it, but it just doesn't look right. It doesn't look right at all in my eye. So there we go. But it was the idea of the exercise was to see if we could get a short wheelbase Land Rover out of a long wheelbase Land Rover without buying extras and resin and stuff like that. And there we go. And if you do want to do this yourself, the whole video the whole video is the whole. I'll put it in a playlist. The whole series is completely dedicated to this is how you do it. other than this last video where I've gone on and done the last bits of lights and mirrors and just little bits and pieces. Everything else is sort of covered in the video, and it's like a full how-to series. So there we go. Thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you all soon. Bye for now. Oh, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Yeah? Bye for now.